welcome to another episode of Raging Out in Clash. My name is Jen, and as always, I'm here with SK.
Hello.
And today we are going to be talking about the summer update.
You nearly forgot, didn't you?
What?
You nearly forgot.
No, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about.
You were
first.
pausing for dramatic effect.
We'll talk about the summer update first. We've gotten 2 sneak peeks in the notes, so we're going to talk about that first.
Shall we talk about that first? Because you tend to waffle a lot. So maybe we should...
You ramble and
well, you waffle, yeah. So, it's doubly terrible.
Yeah, we'll get that out of the way first, and then we'll talk about our war that we finished off the other day, and we'll talk about the current one that we have, and some of the difficulties we've been having with our wars. I have a can't fix stupid. I can't believe it. I have one, so we'll talk about that right at the end, and I think that's about it. There's a couple events that have been on, but they weren't really that exciting, so yeah.
Yeah, just the only thing I wanted to say about the events were that they were like 500 XP. It seemed a bit more than normal. I don't know if in the past they've been 500.
Did you finish them?
I've still got one more attack to do with the Valkyries, so But there's the bowlers. Everyone uses bowlers.
I didn't.
Because you've been using hybrid, haven't you?
I haven't been using anything. I haven't been attacking. I haven't been doing anything. I might do the Valk one though, just because it is wall rings, and that's a wall, a wall.
I just touching on the fact that you have a can't fix stupid. Do you think that the fact that you're surprised that you have one, is that because you're admitting you're been slacking off on the recruitment?
No, I don't remember them, and I don't think to write them down, but this one just happened, and we just talked about it, so that's why it's kind of in my head, but don't worry, I might forget by the time we have to talk about it.
Okay. So what are we talking about first, then?
Actually, you know what? We'll talk about our war first, because maybe we should get, the less lengthy one out of the way first. So, the last war that we had,
You were panicking.
We were a little stressed out, because we had...
I wasn't stressed out. You were stressed out.
Yes, you were stressed out, because we had some extra Town Hall 9s that we had to hit, and we were... had a few new 9s.
A few?
The 9s and the 8s were going to have to hold their own that war. So the 9s ended up doing really well. They cleared themselves. We cleared the top quite easily.
This is versus a clan that had quite a big war streak going as well. So
they had 13 in a row, and it was very nerve-wracking.
Because someone was going to lose their streak.
Someone was losing their streak, because we were on, 11?
Yeah.
We were on 12, and they were on 13. So yeah, it was very nervous. And we ended up struggling on the 8s, which is where
There was a couple engineers, though, in their lineup, which I think hampered them.
Yeah, they had a lot of rushed as well, but their 8s, all of their 8s were strong, and that's where we struggled. We struggled on the 8s. We had a lot of BS that war.
A lot of new people, though. A lot of new people.
We lost 6. We lost 1 Town Hall 7, I think, and 5 Town Hall 8s. There was a lot of crap.
Some of these were baptisms of fire. Some of them we knew because it was a 25, wasn't it? So we knew that actually we would have enough cover. We were stretched a little thin on the cover. But
well, we were down right at the start, because we were down 1 Town Hall 8 because he was a Town Hall 7 and instantly upgraded his Town Hall without telling anyone. And was rushing because he had a level 1 lightning spell. It was horrible. So we were down him to start with. And then
This was after we went through the whole rigmarole of another Townhouse 7. Like, quite literally, it must have still been in chat.
yeah.
I mean, I guess their saving grace was that he actually said he was going to do it, whereas this guy just did it without telling anyone. So, and that's why he's still in the clan and the other guy's not. You know, it's consideration for your clan.
Yeah. We had one Town Hall 8 that must have realized that he didn't have clan castle troops when he went into attack, and he ended his attack, maybe tried to restart it or whatever. And
I think he just didn't want to. I just don't think he was bothered. Because why would he wait the full 30 seconds of scouting time and then end the attack 1 second in?
I don't know.
So to me, that says he wants to show that he actually went into the attack.
Or maybe he was, planning once he got in there, and then it was just like, oh no, I don't have my CC, what do I do? And he was kind of panicking and like wondering if he can, I don't know. But anyway,
I don't know. He was a bit iffy too, all the way throughout, with the changing his base. It was like pulling teeth.
And there was another one.
Also did not change his base.
That failed on his target and then hit somebody else's target, so it didn't follow, the way that we do our wars and whatnot.
Yeah, that was odd because he's been in wars with us before.
Yeah. And then we had another guy not attack at all, so he was gone. We had another guy miss his last attack. And we had a Town Hall 8 just for whatever reason leave the clan and then expect to come back. So we, one of our elders accepted him back into the clan, but we kicked him because for whatever reason he left. It doesn't matter. I mean, you don't leave and come back.
Yep. I think the guy that didn't do his attack, he had left before war started or something. For no reason.
So you think he did his attack when he came back in?
No, I'm talking about the Town Hall 8 that didn't do any of his attacks.
Oh, okay.
He had already gone. After waiting for ages for a war, he just decided to go, and I don't know why. That is just one of those unknowns of, I'll just decide to leave. Who knows? And maybe he realised, actually, I don't know, couldn't handle the pressure. But we won. We won.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, so we ended up winning. We are now...
I did not suck.
We took their 13. We're now on 13 wins in a row. This war, we couldn't find a war with our 13, 12, 11. We've got our 2 10s that are out right now. So we couldn't find a war, so we decided we had a lot of lower people, a lot of 7s and 8s that needed to get into wars, so we decided to run a lower war, 7s and 9s, or 7 to 9s, and we matched up with a level 2 clan that has gone perfect in all 5 of their wars. They've only warred 5 times, but they've gone perfect every 5 of those wars. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to have to be a perfect from us, I think, this war, if we want to win.
So there goes our war streak.
Possibly. I mean, we could come out with a tie, but yeah, I mean, it would lose our war streak.
Just to put it out there, I fully expect either a tie or a win here. I am not I mean, there shouldn't be a loss for us. Okay, our 9s are established 9s in our clan, so they should know how to do their stuff. So there should not be the possibility of a loss in this war.
Well, anything can happen. I mean, if they all struggle on the same day, we've seen it before, where we go on these huge runs where everything is good, and then everybody shits the bed in the same war.
What a lovely visual there. Well, try not to. All right. So, but yeah, obviously we want to win. But if it's a tie, then well, that's how we lost the last.
Yeah, if we lose the streak with a gray, it's not a red, so I'm okay with
that. Yeah, I mean the reds that we have are just they're still in the top half, so it's gonna be a grind.
And I mean those reds, they're still
fresh.
For me, it still hurt because they were so close. Yeah,
it was only like point whatever percent. But yeah, they're so recent though that it's not going to be the end of the world if we add another non-green colour on there. It'd be different if we were...
For me it is, because I'm still wanting to push out those red ones and fill the rest with green.
Well, so yeah, I do want to have that happen too, but I'd rather have, if it being closer... If we're going to not have a green one, it should be closer to the reds than, if the reds were near the bottom and we added something up at the top.
And I mean, that's why at this point I would be okay with a tie, because I mean, even with the matchmaking, if you're on a high streak like that, it usually picks a, harder target, or like war or whatever. But if we, reset with a tie, it's not a red. So even if the log isn't completely green and it was, had one gray one or two gray ones in there, that's still no reds.
Okay, but don't be like thinking, that's okay, and then we'll just keep having these 9 and below wars so that we can, not have a red. That's not how we're gonna run.
No, I mean, it's not, like, we're not planning to do it this way. It's just, with the 10s being out, it was hard to find a match.
Yeah. But we've
never had a lot of luck with 25s. Like, it's always been, taking us a couple days to find a match with a 25, so... Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just what we get for recruiting so much.
Yeah. That's... You were supposed to do, 10 hall 9s and above. I was doing 10 hall 8s below.
I invite them. They come in and they do nothing. Yeah. And then they get kicked because they do nothing.
Exactly. That's great, Jen.
I tell them what we need from them, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then they go offline and never come back on again.
Well, I guess that's the better way rather than cussing out and whatever. But yeah, so hopefully a win or a tie for this war. We do have a lot of new people as well this time around, so I mean, you're lucky I've been recruiting at the amount of people you've been kicking. So I'm feeling that I shouldn't start recruiting them because I don't know what this war's gonna bring. But I don't know. There's a lot
of new people. There's a lot of bases where one would think, I don't need to take CC troops for this. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see who can follow our rules of play.
Who can read and actually understand why we're saying the things we are. But I mean, you can only take so much stupid in a day. I think, what day was it? It was between Wednesday. I don't know, but I think everyone that I invited decided to come. Because I'm playing the odds here where I just invite a crap ton of people, and then I think, maybe 1% of them will come in to the clan, right? Because, there's a billion people out there. There's tons of clans out there as well. I'm not the only person sending out invites. So I'm thinking like 1%, less than 1% will come into the clan. But on Wednesday, I think they all decided to come in. And I was like, at the end of it, I just needed to lie down in the dark room. Because there's only so much of, saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Kicking stupid people. I'm like, I'll be like, have you read what our clan description says? Because it's important. And they're like, yes. And then they go and break the first rule. I'm like, ugh. So they're either terrible reader, like they can't read, or they're big fat liars. And it was just a day like that, and I was like, when's Jen coming back so that I can just give her some of this responsibility? Because a lot of our other codes are not online at that point as well, because obviously I'm doing this technically while I'm working, but it was after work that it started always to come into the clan. But I was like, where? Because our elders are obviously in. Most of them are in your side of the world, so they're barely waking up as well. And I'm like, I'm doing this all by myself. There's a whole lot of stupid. I'm trying not to, just. I mean, there were just points where I'm like, okay, I'm just cleaning house because I've spoken to them, and yet they've buggered off and not done anything, and they're not even cooking troops, right? They're not doing anything.
That's what I do before I go to bed. It's just like, okay, I've told all of these people they've got 4 time to do this, and none of them are doing anything. So it's just like, and then I look back in chat, it's like, okay, this person just joined, didn't say anything, didn't say hello. Yeah, you can go too. And then I just pretty much clean everybody.
Yeah.
Before I go to bed.
Just try and regain some sanity there. But yeah, so that Wednesday, I don't know what was happening. I must have been the only clan recruiting that day or something, but I was like, so that's put me off a little bit. I'm a little bit scarred by that. So I was like, maybe I'll just not recruit today. Because it's sort of the lapse over the people that don't check their phone every day or their game every day will still have those invites there, so you were still getting the dregs come in. But yeah, so I haven't recruited much today. But now that you're finished with work, I'm still expecting those 9, 10, 11s to come in,
I don't. A lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't join in the evening. They join, after I've gone to bed.
Do you know who those people are? Those are the people that are in that part of the world that are always, they're in the Asia kind of area.
I think a lot are the West Coasters as well. Because
the 10 till 9 ones.
When it's still a decent hour for them, I'm already in bed because, I wake up early in the morning, so I go to bed early. So, I know that there's a couple hours that, people are definitely on the West Coast that are coming in.
Yeah, and there's a few in our clan that do sort of generally say hello, take them through the ropes, but then there's just this pause between, about 3-4 hours just before I wake up, where the other part of the world's already awake and whatnot, and you can just see them joining, and they tend to be quite needy in terms of attention. So it's just joining, leaving, requesting, joining, leaving, requesting. This is this whole chain, right? And I'm like, oh, here we go. So every morning when I wake up, I'm like, it's just a clean house. It's like all these people have just joined and have, all of them have broken how our clan works, so yeah, so try not to kick a lot of people this war so that I don't have to recruit very much.
Well, they just better, keep their crap together.
Yeah, well, just bear in mind I'm busy this weekend, so I might not be recruiting so much. But yeah, hopefully it'll work well. I had a 10L7 come in today, and it was clearly his mini, right? And I was like, okay, here's what you gotta do, blah 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 blah. And he was like, oh yeah. So he was a 10L7. He's like, oh, with dragons I can murder any base, right? And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, show me. Right. And then he's like, oh yeah, and in war, you just look at number 12, I would do this, I would drop the barb cane to get rid of the air sweeper, and I'd just do this. And then he's like, on the base number 13, I would just drop this and get rid of the the air defense in this one. And I'm like, and he's like, what do you think of my strategy, right? And I'm like, oh, so needy. Now I have to go look, right? Because I don't care right now until war happens, right? Because the bases change, right? But now he's asked the question, and now I have to spend some time looking at bases. And number 12 was a progressive base. So why would you need strategy there? And then number 13 is a Town Hall 8 that's so rushed that he has level 1 everything. So I'm like, this is you showing me your great strategy on these 2 bases. That's 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back. So I'm like, so I was like, those aren't war bases. And he was like, oh yeah, but you know, I'm just showing you that I know how to do these things. And I'm like, show me, do what I asked you to do. And he did not. He's like, I'm cooking my dragons, and apparently, you know, even after 5 hours, he's still cooking his dragons. So, he's no longer with us. Sorry, that was a little rant there, but there was a lot of stupid today as well. I think I do need to just sort of reset my tolerance level of, because there's only, I think I told you the other day as well. Sorry, I'm just on a rant now. But I told you the other day that I was going for like a hat trick of people telling me that what were they telling me? Something about my clan, or it was like, screw you all, your clan sucks, or something like that. And it was like quite one after the other, and I was like, am I gonna get a hat trick for it? So, because I think for me it becomes very repetitive. I mean, people need to make up some good insults, some new insults, if you know they're gonna cuss us out.
Right.
Because I've heard a lot of them, you know. So yeah, I sometimes, to make it a little bit interesting, I just wish they would think of something a little bit more imaginative, a little bit more different.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And you know, that's kind of what keeps it fun for me. Is like, I wonder what this person's gonna say if I push him a little bit.
And some just linger, like a bad smell. Like, they've already told us that this clan is blah 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 blah, and we're like, so it's probably not the clan for you then, you know, fair enough. Different clans for different people. And they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna stay. And then they just linger for ages, right? You're like, do you have to do the equivalent of opening a window? Yeah, it's just like the other guy who was like, oh, I'm never gonna get this done, I should probably just leave now. And I don't know why they have to tell us that, and then they wait for ages. I don't know if they're waiting for us to go, no, you're amazing, forget everything we just said, please stay, you know. But I was like, nah, I'm just gonna ignore it. And it's just this big pause, and then 10 minutes later, when somebody else joined, and I'm obviously talking to them, he again then says, I just, you know, to start this base, I'm not gonna get it, you know. And I'm like, you just told me 10-15 minutes ago that you're gonna, you know, leave, and you're still here. So, I don't know, well, this is my end of my rant, sorry. You talk about something else.
No, I totally agree with that, though. I do. Yeah?
Yeah, I don't ramble. I just have rants. Okay, so what else are we going to talk about before you get me started on another one?
About the summer update.
Uh-huh. Okay. You got the info?
I do.
Okay.
Well, just clear it. Okay. So the first part, it says, it wouldn't be a major update if we didn't include some new levels for you to upgrade. In today's preview, we're revealing new levels for your defenses, troops, siege machines, spells, and heroes. Furthermore, we've retuned the lightning spell a bit, and it now occupies single housing space.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to go through each of the changes?
So, defenses, the cannon and wizard tower, for you, are getting a level.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, the first thing that came to mind was, other than yay, I have a bajillion things to upgrade again, because there's quite a lot of cannons. Remember how I complained the last time?
Yeah.
So cannons are getting another upgrade. So they're getting 2 upgrades in Town Hall 13. But the other thing that comes to mind is, does the Royal Champion ability still one-shot those kind of those cannons? I can't remember now, but I think I don't know if I've been attacking the right things though, but I'll need to check. But that could be quite significant if they don't one-shot anything now. I mean, I don't know if they do it now. I thought they did, but again, I'm probably attacking bases that aren't upgraded or something like that. But there are things that I don't know if there are things that are still at 10 or 13 being one-shotted by the Royal Champion's ability. I'm wondering what the impact would be if that no longer applies. I think the Wizard Towers. Is that another ability for another level for Wizard Towers as well, or did they get upgraded?
Yes, no, because they did you did upgrade them.
So that's 2 for them too. Oh, okay, fine. And Wizard Towers are generally quite expensive as well, I think. I remember that. I'm probably gonna do
You're complaining about this is what I'm going to have to do when I upgrade. And it's not going to be, I'm going to max everything and then get another update where I've got another level. It's going to be, oh my god, I've got 2 levels of these stupid wizard towers to do.
Yeah, but by the time you come to 10 or 13, they'll have released whatever and you'll be like doing it in half the time I've done it in. I'm not fussed with the new levels. I guess with the things that you're going to talk about at some point, I guess this is them trying to combat the buff in offense. But yeah, I'm not. I'll probably do cannons before I do other towers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't get hit with a lot of air though, so.
Instead of that, it's like E-drags, but
Yeah, right now the meta is definitely ground. It's a ground meta.
Yeah.
But after this summer update, I can see that changing to air. Traps and walls. You get 1 additional spring trap.
That I do like. That's my favourite defense, apart from the tornado thing. But only. I think, it's good that they haven't added more tornado traps. But I do like the tornado trap because I do feel it's different. But the spring trap, I think, is the most underestimated defense, personally. There's nothing else that can just get rid of a troop.
I would like to see another tornado trap.
You would?
I would, yeah.
I want one that goes the other way.
Just one, because they're in 2. You could strategically place them, where one is spinning it and then it catches the other one and then it's
You're just spinning it outside the base.
Twice as far out. That would be a big game changer. So that's why I would like to see another
like the builder base where you have the spring traps that you can just ping them all the way out or something like that. But yeah, no, I like the spring trap. Actually, scrub that. I'm not doing my cannons. I'm doing my spring trap first.
And then you're getting an additional 50 walls that can be upgraded to level 14.
Yeah, that's last. Or whenever the season pass treasury thing updates fills my storages. Yep.
So there are some new levels to troops. This isn't going to affect a lot of our war CCs, but it will affect some of them. The Archer Tower is now going to level 9, which is nice because that gives me something I can upgrade.
The Archer Tower.
Or sorry, archers.
Right. Okay. But actually... Yeah, okay. I'll talk about that later.
Baby dragons are going to level 7.
Uh-huh.
Oops, accidentally clicked out of there. So baby dragons are going to level 7. Golems are going to level 10. Lava Hound is going to level 6. Wall Wrecker, Battle Blimp, and the Stone Slammer are all going to level 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate.
Do you
for
get
me.
any of those levels?
What's that?
Do you get any of those levels? No.
Just the Archer. And that's unfortunate for me because we do take max CC troops, I can't just take my own, which it sucks because that was like for my CC I would always request the barracks because I could always take my own.
Yeah.
But the other one they were always max. So this will
make me indispensable again.
Yes.
Okay. I guess.
I mean, just for me, because I'll need to get that. I can donate for everybody else, but for me, I need you to. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can understand why they upped the golem because nobody uses it now. Why would you take a fair? You could take 2 ice golems for that. The only I guess thing that a golem had that trumped the ice golem was that you couldn't spring trap it. Right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, it has death damage and that, but or it splits into golemites. But a freeze is so much more effective with the ice golem. So I can understand why they're trying to buff that to try and get more usage or more combinations or try and get them used more. The Hound, obviously, I've always thought that the Hound should be buffed anyway because there's only one Hound. There's really only one tank for if you're doing loons. Unless you're doing like Dragloon, but it's not the same thing. It's the Hound is essentially the equivalent of the Golem. But because you've got the Ice Golem now as well, there's only still the Hound.
Right.
And then the Baby Dragon, the only thing that I would say is, I like the Baby Dragon because it's useful for funneling troops. I have seen a little video about it, and it's quite cute. It's got little power bracelets.
Yeah.
But I do like to see what the visual differences are. I think the Hound is a little bit bulkier, a little bit more black, less dewy-like. The Golem is blue now instead of purple.
Oh.
And then the Archer. See, on the Archer, I don't like the way the new Archer looks because she has pink hair, but she's got like this headdress thing, right? But I don't like it because when you start the game, she has pink hair and her hair gradually gets more and more purple and dark, right? But now it's like, I don't know if she's just getting old, but her hair colour is getting more and more light again. So now she's like that sort of bleached candy floss colour. So that's my issue because I'm like, well, she doesn't really look that much different from when I had her at Town Hall 4 when she had the pink hair and stuff. What do you think?
I did notice that the Archer kind of, like you said, started with pink and then went on to purple and then now is kind of... I don't like the look of the new art. Like, even the Archers that we have now, I don't like the look of them.
They look... I don't know if it's probably just my perception, but to me, when they got more and more darker hair, shall we say, they looked more aggressive. Whereas now...
I was going to say they looked more fierce.
Yeah. But now with the pink hair, they're looking a bit more soft now.
Yeah.
But what about the other troops?
I haven't seen the look of any of the other troops. I'm definitely excited about the Baby Dragon. For you.
For me?
Well, I mean, it's good for funneling.
Yeah. Have you ever seen me as a Baby Dragon for funneling?
I made one of them Town Hall 13 one day. That'll be nice for me because I use Baby Dragons to funnel.
And obviously, what do you think of the Hound? Because obviously that's gonna...
I keep saying I'm going to learn Lavaloon, and I haven't. So, for me, it's just like,
But it should buff air a bit more. I think also because a lot of people were just using electro drags or the drag bat thing, that hounds were falling by the wayside a bit like the golem.
Yeah. I mean, they've already given, a little bit of a change to the golem where it spawns 3 golemites now instead of just 2.
Uh-huh.
So.
In terms of the siege barracks?
Siege barracks was the only one that didn't get an upgrade.
Oh, sorry, the siege machines.
Because your siege barracks is already 4.
Yeah. No? Oh, is it? Yeah, no, I did. You're right. I noticed that the levels weren't all the same. I just didn't know what one was different. But in terms of that, sure, I'll probably put the one that I use the most, which is the siege machine. I don't think it'll make much difference from me because I think they'll still never reach the 10 hall. But that's not why I used them. The wall wrecker, in case people are wondering. But I mean, yeah, sure. I guess you do need that extra bit of bulkiness just with the extra cannons and whatnot.
Yeah.
They don't hold any more troops, but then that's like the CC rather than the siege machine. But I mean, touching upon the other sneak peek was that they said they were gonna fix some of the pathing of the wall wrecker, so hopefully that'll be, hopefully that's...
Yeah, right.
I'm just gonna blame that's why.
Take like a detour, like 3 tiles, and then it goes in. It's just like, well, no, I wanted it to go here because I wanted it to
do the straight line. Yeah. Okay, and what's next?
Spells. Lightning spell. Town Hall 11s can upgrade that to level 8. Town Hall 12s can upgrade it to level 9. Mm-hmm. So I guess I've got 2 things that I can do now.
Mm-hmm. So the thing that I wanted to discuss with you...
And then the clone spell as well, you're getting 1 level.
Yeah, and it clones 33 troops, which is still... I don't know why it's 33, because, like, what troop is that? Is that the Yeti?
Yeti's 18.
So, that's 36. Can't do maths this late in the day. So what gives you 33 troops? What's the combination there? Because if you're doing Lavaloon, where is the free space gonna go? If you're gonna... And that's really where I've only ever seen the clone spell be used.
Maybe that's a typo. Maybe it's supposed to be 35.
I don't think so. Someone would have picked up on that. But yeah, I've only ever really seen clone being used for loons. Mm-hmm. I've not seen... I mean, maybe there is a hidden meta where clone is secretly used for something else. I don't know. Extra miners? What's miners?
6. It's not a... There's nothing that goes into 33.
So that's my point. What are you gonna hope that there's some extra, I don't know, archers from the archer ability or something, or barbs that would come in? And I don't know why 33 is a bit of an odd number to make. So I feel like I'd just be wasting that space if nothing gets in to be replicated to that all the space. But the thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the lightning spell, right? And I don't know, I read it wrong. I don't know, I think I read it wrong because when I read it, I was like, that's a big change. Other than because it's now moving to 1 spell slot. If you read out what the description says.
Additionally, the lightning spell has been reworked to require just 1 housing space. Deal reliable damage to a small deal reliable damage to a small radius and cause a short duration stun effect that causes its target to reset its attacks.
So I read that as, so if I hit a defense, is that a bit like a freeze? So, but does it say that in the actual lightning spell as it is right now? Is it the same blurb? Because in my head, I must have misunderstood because I was like, so is that a bit like a freeze now? And now I have to choose.
Electrocute your enemies with bolts of lightning. Cast this spell at the enemy village to damage buildings and units inside a small area.
Yeah, so, but nobody else has, I mean, I've not, from what I've seen, and I've not been on the forums much, but I haven't noticed anyone's talking about that particular sentence. And I'm like, is the stun only, is that like, because the CC troops would die, right? Or are you talking about, if you hit a golem CC, it would be stunned? Or are you talking about defenses being stunned? Like
that causes its target to reset its attack.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, is that like an infernal you would reset? Mm-hmm. But I mean, nobody else has actually, I'd not seen what that said, and the various YouTubers haven't mentioned anything about it, so I must have just read that wrong or interpreted that wrong. But I think that actually that would be quite an interesting twist, because it's a bit like a jump versus a quake. They both do the same thing, but they have pros and cons of each, whereas the lightning spell, if it's dialed down to one spell slot versus the freeze, which is also one spell slot, the fact that I think it does damage but if it still stuns, I think that could actually see a shift from the freeze to the lightning, because I would love, because you do damage.
Stunning and restarting,
but damage.
Restarting a defense like a single inferno. You can drop that if it's locked on your queen. It'll restart it. You've already done damage to it, so
exactly. Yeah. So, but obviously, and then I was thinking, is that because then you'd have to choose between a small area of lightning damage versus a bigger quake, bigger freeze area? Mm-hmm. And then I thought that would be quite an interesting dynamic, where would I take a freeze or would I take a lightning spell, because some of these bases, for example, with those random square bases, and there's only that single infernal there and that's all it does, there's no point freezing everything. You would only want to do zap the infernal because there's nothing else around it, so you choose to one over the other depending on what the base looks like. But I read that wrong because nobody else is talking about that. But I don't know, because I was like, stun? What would you stun?
I think because there's so much given to us, it might just have slipped through the cracks.
Well, what do you think when you read that?
I think exactly what you're thinking.
But is that just because I mentioned it and now you want that to happen?
I read that earlier and I'm like, huh? I'm like, that can't be right.
Well, I mean, people have used lightning on CC troops, but it's normally to kill them. Mm-hmm. I mean, why would you stun a hound? Let's say you can actually kill a hound with a lightning spell, right? Why would you stun a hound? Is that to stop your queen from killing it and therefore getting all the pups out? Is that what you'd use it for? To stun? I can't think of any other reason that you would stun a CC. I would just kill it, So I don't know, I must have read that wrong.
Well, but I don't think that they're making that change thinking that people are using it to kill CCs.
No, but why? But that's what I mean, like, if it's now able to stun...
But stun a defense.
Well, it doesn't say what it's stunning. That's why I'm asking you, how are you reading that? Do you read that as stun a defense or stun CC troops?
I would be thinking stun a defense. Yeah.
Because we have to remember that the lightning spell is not as strong now. Because it's a smaller spell slot. So it's not like a full-powered double slot damage. Like, so what I'm saying is, the lightning spell as it is can probably kill your CC troops, like how people have used that in the past. But with it now being shortened or shrunk to one spell slot, the damage has also decreased.
Has it? Okay, that was going to be my concern, because I was going to say they either have to decrease the lightning or put a buff on the air defenses, because, I mean, you take a look at Town Hall 7s now, because if they are able to take, you know, if it's going to be one spell slot, I mean, they can take 3 lightnings, whereas that would get rid of an air defense in the past. I mean, if they were still able to do that, it would be, like, it would just make Town Hall 7 and Town Hall 8 just super easy to 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it already is, but...
Well, it used to be like that before they introduced the extra air defense and the sweeper. You'd just zap out air defense and just spray and pray, but, you know... it could have reverted back to that, but again, that's why I'm thinking maybe I just read that wrong. Maybe you aren't actually able to kill CC troops with that lightning spell anymore. You're just stunning them.
With the decrease, possibly not, because
it's going to be a pretty crap lightning spell then, because how much health do these CC troops have? Unless you're putting like an ice golem or something. Again, these are tanks, but like, let's say you've got what's the CC these days? Dragons are tanky. Baby dragons, a witch, but you could always you could kill a witch with lightning, but maybe they're saying you can't kill a witch with lightning now. I don't know. Valks are also tanky.
Yeah.
I don't know. The mass archer CC. I'd hope lightning would kill archers. Right?
Hopefully.
That should just happen. I
don't know, they're level 9 now.
With their pink hair. The geriatric archers. So yeah, that's how I just wanted to check how you read that and whether, you know, I was just making that up.
I read it as stun a defense, but I mean it could possibly be for CC troops as well, I guess.
Yep. Okay, what's next?
Barbarian King, Archer Queen have 5 new levels. Just the Queen and just the King.
Sure. I personally, when you look at the stats, I think the King got a bigger buff than the Queen. The Queen only gets 1 extra archer with the new ability. So it's hardly worth, you know, because they all die anyway. Because as soon as you press the ability, Sod's Law is there's a giant bomb there. Yeah. But I think the King's buff was more buffy than the Archer Queen. Probably because the Archer Queen is already quite a...
34 little barbarians. Holy cow.
Yeah, so you put a clone spell on them and you can get all 33 of them.
You try that. You should try that.
But it's free spell slots. It's not worth 33 barbarians.
Just in a like I'd throw up a base just so I could see what that would look like.
Right, that would just be Barch, wouldn't it? You know, you just hit both of the King and the Queen's ability and just put clone spell on them and it's just Barch. But yeah, I mean, I have something to spend my Dark Elixir on. What I will say is that apart from the first book of building in the season pass, I have not collected anything. Apart from, obviously, the builder boosts and the lab boosts and whatever, training boosts. But the actual resource awards, I've not taken anything. So they're all ready to be collected. But there's 2 hero books in this season pass as well. So, and I have one already in my...
I saw in the forums that everybody's hoping that it drops before the season ends, I think.
Well, it's 11 days that's going to drop. They cannot do sneak peeks for 11 days. It's going to drop. I think it's going to drop either Monday or Tuesday, personally. But so that's 3 upgrades already. You know, obviously I need the Dark Elixir, but they've got a Dark Elixir rune there. I've got one in my thing, so I could just pop out 3 levels. So
Queen Fern.
well, I don't know. That's what I mean. I'm a bit. I probably will, but I'm still a little bit in 2 minds because I feel like the king got more buffed than the queen this time. But yeah, so I'm glad that I did not collect any of my rewards at all for it, which will be good. I might actually have to spend some medals now. Yeah, so that'll be the hero grade. I'll get to be out of wars again. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But you know, I'll have three levels banged out the.
You'll be done those in no time.
You don't know. Because the golem, the hound, they're all dark.
They are, yeah. But you never use those, so you'll leave them till the end.
I might have to do some, Dark Elixir research. And let's not forget that there's new super troops, which use dark.
The witch and the baby dragon, I think.
So they use dark.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I planned this, but my whatever, I think I had super barbs. That's timed out now. So I'm not picking another one until the new update drops, because then technically I could choose another one and get back the 50-70k DE, but I'd have to wait some days to try out the new troop. Whereas I wait until the update drops and I can immediately choose something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm in preparation for the update, is what I will say.
We'll have to coordinate that, so you choose the one and I choose the other. Or, yeah, because everybody gets the super troop, so yeah.
Yeah. You and I. And 10 all 10s. 11s, I mean.
11,
yeah. Okay.
I've got 3 days left on my goblins, so that'll
be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember not to click it.
The only reason I unlocked the goblins, because like I said, I haven't been raiding, it was because I needed to do that season challenge because I wanted to get my heroes done for that war. So it was like, okay, I had 1,600 that I needed to get, but I all the points were there, and I'm like, yeah, I can do it all, but I need to get this stupid builder base 60 stars and the super troop one. So I unlocked goblins just for that, trained 2 armies full of sneaky goblins, raided twice, and that was it.
Nice. Okay, what else was on there? Was that all?
That was all for the first bit, and then we got another one today, which was the quality of life stuff.
Yes. They fixed one of the things that you were talking about. I noticed. I was like, oh, they fixed that. But we can talk about that when you get to it. So
the first thing is custom-friendly challenge armies. So attacking in friendly challenges and friendly wars now happens with a specific friendly army, which can be configured before your attack and cost no resources or time to train.
Mm-hmm. So that's good, right? That's what we wanted, because then that means I can post up a random base and you don't need to train any troops specifically. You just choose the combo that you want.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. I guess it would go with whatever level you have as a player, right?
Yeah. The one thing that I think about is
that'll work nice just for how we do things, because if a Town Hall 8 is on, they can put up a friendly challenge, and now we don't have to wait. I'm cooking my troops, or I'm doing this. Friendly challenges.
I'm farming right now. I can't afford to make my dragons.
That's actually a good addition.
I'm collecting Dark Elixir for my heroes, all that. I think you still need. I don't know if it means that your heroes are going to always be up, though. Still waiting for it. But I wonder now, though, what, if any, if there's any impact for, like, the pro players, because they do all their leagues and the tournaments through Friendly Wars, don't they? So now they don't even have to cook troops.
That's true, yeah.
So just wondering what effect that'll have. Probably won't have any, because, they're all maxed anyway, so they don't have any.
Well, I was just going to say they're all maxed anyways, with probably the exception of Lexno still working on his walls to get his account.
But I'm just saying, they don't. They just. It's just all nothing. It's all surreal and separated from the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then we've got improved town hall upgrade experience. To make your transition to a new town hall level even more special, upgrading your town hall will now trigger various limited time boosts and benefits. The boosts and benefits increase in their availability and duration as you progress through the game into higher town hall levels. So there are 4 boosts that you can get: a power boost, a resource boost, a star bonus boost, and a hero boost. So the power boost, starting from Town Hall 4, your troops and spells are temporarily boosted to the maximum level allowed by your laboratory for a limited time.
So it's like the potions. It's like the potions, basically.
Yeah. The resource boost, starting from Town Hall 4, your resource collectors are temporarily boosted to work at double their normal rate. So the resource potion.
Mm-hmm.
Star bonus boost, starting at Town Hall 4, your star bonus rewards from multiplayer battles are temporarily boosted 4 times. And the hero boost, starting from Town Hall 8, your heroes are temporarily boosted plus 5 levels.
So all the potions effectively. What do you think of that?
I don't like that.
I think it encourages people to.
Unnecessary.
I mean, I think this is the reason why they've done it, but I think it encourages people to rush. Like,
I was just gonna say, I think it might encourage people to fix their accounts once they get to, if they've rushed and then they get to experience a max level drag attack as opposed to a level 1 drag attack, it might encourage them to finish upgrading everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but why don't you like it then?
Because why? It's just unnecessary.
I think it's more just to get over the hump of new town hall day. Having new town halls when you upgrade it is a pain. Like, it is, because you're not getting any of the multiplier, it's less. I mean, you're hitting for loot, you're attacking spaces that are generally stronger now.
But if you've been in clan games, if you've been doing events, you've got potions that you can boost your collectors. You can boost
I've never boosted my collectors.
No, but I'm saying, like, there's enough of the potions given in clan games and whatnot that I think that this is just a waste.
Well,
I mean, obviously it's not a waste, but it's just, I don't know.
I think it's to encourage, because it's to encourage people to continue with the game, because a lot of people, I think they found, give up once they've upgraded their town hall because of the lull in, actually, I'm no longer top of the pack now, I'm at the bottom again. And I want to play with the new toys.
Yeah, but for us, though, I can see it being an issue, especially if we get someone new into the clan now, a new Town Hall 8, they've got the boosted troop level, and then after so many days they lose it, and then it comes wartime, and they've got to attack with those same troops, and they don't have that level. So it's going to be...
Yeah, I do think it's going to affect our recruitment, I think. I don't particularly care for it either. I think it's interesting, out the box twist, as in I don't think anyone was expecting that. So kudos for doing something different. I think it also helps those that so again they're trying to reinvigorate people that may have left the game because of whatever, but also because of people encouraging people to have alternative accounts. It's not so much a grind now. So even like when does this start? From Town Hall 8 or?
Yes. The heroes from Town Hall 8, all the other ones from Town Hall 4.
But so from Town Hall 4, you could probably get to Town Hall 7 and by the time your boost finishes. Each and every time. Right? The only thing you would need is build the potions to do all the defenses, but you'd pretty much max out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that multiplier alone is just gonna... Okay, so the home village balance changes. The Golem, level 7 to 9, reduced training cost from 600, 700, 800 to... They basically lost about 25.
What?
Reduced healing time of all heroes. New max healing time is down from 49 minutes to 40 minutes. Thank you.
Yes.
That it was such a pain in the ass boosting your troops and heroes, having my army takes 4 minutes and my heroes are sitting there at 10.
Yeah. So hopefully that balances out again now and they're up at the same time. Unfortunately, still not the CC though.
Loot cart now accumulates loot over time for up to 90 days, and its capacity for resources generated from inactivity has been increased across Town Hall levels.
I don't really get all the changes with the loot cart, probably because I don't really understand how the loot cart works now. So I don't really have an opinion, other than from what I understand, you can now get more loot from it. So that's all I need to know.
I never, because everything costs millions and millions of gold, I never really look at my loot cart or collect it because all that's ever in there is 100,000. So it's what's the point of even collecting it? Just let it sit there.
Well, I think it can go more now, but I think from what I've seen, this is again to entice people that might have given up on the game for when they come back. It can go up to 16 million in there.
15, yeah.
But and again, I think this conflicts with the whole Supercell saying, "I don't want you to stop playing the game," because clearly, if there's incentive for you to, not play, I'm not, I'm just saying, clan games, the whole palaver of we don't want people to not play the game, and now they're trying to incentivize that the loot cart builds up over 90 days. I think. I mean, I'll just take a holiday for 90 days.
Basically fills your entire storage.
So,
I don't know about that one.
I'm just a bit conflicted with that.
Builder base challenges. There was challenge to the Crusher, changes to the Crusher, splash radius, changes to the battle machine DPS increase, spring trap, spring capacity was increased, push trap, spring capacities increased, rage barbarian spring weight increased, sneaky archer spring weight increased, boxer giant bomber and cannon cart spring weight increased as well. Additional game changes, improved experience for returning players, as we can see in some of the mentioned things that we've already done. When saving donation requests, the game also now includes troops, spells, or siege machines that are already in the clan castle.
Sure. Okay.
Season challenges, troop-based tasks have been rebalanced in order to be able to be completed with clan castle reinforcements from Town Hall 9 and up.
I didn't know that they didn't count anyway, to be fair. That was just my ignorance for being, a 10 or 13. I never really realised that if I gave this person, a P.E.K.K.A. or something like that, it doesn't count towards a P.E.K.K.A. challenge. As in the games.
Yes, it did.
Well, then what's that saying then? Is it just saying that,
For events, it might have, but maybe not for the season challenge.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I just never knew. Nobody. So I guess in that case, it's good for us to now know that. But yeah, okay, cool. That's a good change, I guess.
Grand Warden AI improved again to follow the group more effectively and less prone to be drifting away while on air mode.
So the other updates that they did with the Warden clearly solved. Well, yeah.
Removed air mines from traveling across the map in their original target if their original target is destroyed after triggering the trap, but before the trap is activated. Max distance for air mines target selection is now 2 times the trigger radius of the trap.
That's a lot. I think it's probably going to affect the pro players more than your regular, average Joe person.
Because I know, a lot of them were complaining where, something would go in and trigger a seeking air mine, that troop would die, and then that seeking air mine would go all the way across the base to grab a healer or something like that.
I'm like, in a way I'm like, how is that bad? Because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to seek. But now it can only seek within a wall space, like within that enclosed area. I don't know. I can see how it might have been annoying for the pro players, but I feel like that is how that trap is supposed to work.
I absolutely agree. When I saw this one, I didn't like it, and I wanted to get your opinion of it, because, obviously I know, it's not going to affect you or I, but it is going to affect, like you said, the pro players, and that I know that a lot have complained about it, and I'm disappointed to see that in there, because that's what that mine is supposed to do.
So, if something triggers it and dies, what happens to that trap? Does it go back in to the ground, or does it just not hit anything and die? Because then that's a waste of a trap. Exactly. How have you read that? What does it say happen after it's been triggered? Is that...
It says the max distance the air mine target selection is now 2 times the trigger radius.
But what's the sentence before that?
Removed air mines from traveling across the map if their original target is destroyed after triggering the trap, but before the trap is activated.
What does that mean? After triggering the trap, but before it's activated? Aren't triggering and activated the same things?
I thought so.
What do you mean, like activated as in it has exploded?
Remove air mines from traveling across the map. Their original target is destroyed after triggering the trap, but before the trap is activated.
See, I don't understand. Or do they mean so they trigger the trap, so that means it comes out the ground, and then...
But before it actually gets to seek,
you mean
it dies.
Explodes, not activated. Because activated and triggered are, the same thing.
Like you said, if that air mine, if that troop had died, is that air mine just going to sit there in that radius until something comes within it?
It's just floating in the air. And you're like, avoid.
And it's like you said, then it's a waste of a trap.
Because then you could just put, I don't know, if it's just hovering in the air, and you were doing air, or clearly doing air because it's an air mine, but you would purposely save a loon to just explode it because you know it's there. Because the trap has been visible now. It's no longer a trap, it's just hanging in there. And you know that eventually, whenever your troops get round to it, it's going to start floating towards it again. And you just...
That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Like I said, I wasn't crazy about that one, so I'm interested to see how that'll play out. Troops exiting jump spell should not retarget in order to prevent troops from getting stuck in a jump spell. So troops exiting jump spell should not retarget in order to prevent troops from getting stuck in a jump spell. I don't think I've ever gotten any troops stuck in a jump spell.
No, neither have I. I have heard of it, but I've not seen it.
I guess maybe because they've hopped in and hopped out and hopped in and hopped out, so maybe.
Mm-hmm. I think because they hop in or they hop out and then they retarget. That's what they're saying, but they retargeted something on the other side of the hop,
right.
the jump, so they jump back in, but then they retarget and cycle.
Right. Scattershot defenses can now run out of ammunition, similar to the Expo and Inferno towers. Thank you! Those dead bases are gonna be nice! Scattershot attack speed reduced from 3 seconds to 3.036 seconds. Isn't 3.036 higher than 3?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I'm like...
But that reduced.
But say that again. No, but that's the speed. Say the sentence again. Because when I was reading that, I'm like, okay, are we talking, is this the whole activated trigger thing? And I'm not,
Well, see, so it's slower, so it would be more time.
Yeah, what I was saying is it has to hit 3 point whatever milliseconds,
yes.
And then the next time it would have to do another 3 point whatever, rather than 3 and then 3 and then 3.
That doesn't make sense. Because I looked at that, I'm like, how is that slower? But it is, because it had more time. Wall wrecker pathing has been improved. It damn well better be. Fixed the possibility of including the wrong clan member in war if a new member with a higher trophy count joins the clan during a member selection process. Thank you, because that was so freaking annoying.
Because we have seen this several times, and I'm like, I don't play war. So when you're starting war and I'm recruiting, you're like, stop putting these people in my war.
We've done that a couple times where we had this random person just be in war. It's like, how did they get in there? I know I didn't select them.
Good.
Perfect.
Anything else?
User interface changes. This one, I don't know how I feel about this. Prevent open of war screen.
But that's the one that you wanted.
Prevent opening of war screen during CWL if you're not at least an elder or included in the roster for all league levels.
But you wanted that for everyone.
I said this is the one I wanted, but then I thought, you know how we have some people join the clan during leagues and it's just like, go look at this person's attack on this war, on this base, just as an idea of how to attack and stuff like that. And for that reason, I don't like it because I liked being able to say that, like, go look in the war, see how we're doing and what like that. And even you said, too, that some people like to follow along. They like to cheer us on when we're in war. So for that reason...
Yeah, we might see a downturn in terms of engagement of new people.
But I do... I mean, we don't have to close the clan now. Because... people can't spy, because nobody's going to get promoted in that short time to be able to look.
Yeah, but
so
yeah.
I know that, like, I prefer the clan being closed. I would just prefer us inviting people. I don't like that people can. Yeah. I like having control about... I know that it's not, I'm not going in depth with these people that I'm looking at. It's random. I'm taking a chance. But I still like having that control of I'm bringing you in. And I guess I have that too when they request. But it's like, why are they requesting? I'm like,
paranoia.
My heart is up. right away my guard is up. It's like, why are they requesting? Is it somebody that we've kicked? They're coming back. They're trying, like, and for that reason, I don't like having the clan open. I like having it closed.
Well, it's interesting that you've touched on this, because this is something that I wanted to talk about, or just point out. Right, so I've noticed the change. So in the past, or currently, we're invite only, right? So people can still request to join. And much like the reasons why you like it being closed, is some people who either leave or try to come back, or people that we've kicked, or what have you, some argument happens, they can always still request to join and put whatever foul message in the request, right? And obviously, if you close the clan, you can't do that, and you can't, have the last word, as it were. But I have noticed, though, by changing to closed clan, by doing that, and with me still recruiting, what they do now is they're obviously clanless because they've left or we've kicked them, but they make a new clan with, obviously abuse, and then they invite you or they friend request you. So, obviously you have to get rid of those things, you have to look at it. So it's like...
But at least, I can see that, because then they're kind of getting the last word in. But at least that's not getting put in clan chat for others to see. I mean, it's something that's directed at you, where you can just choose.
Oh, great! So you like that it's personal. It's a personal hate message.
I don't like when somebody gets kicked or cusses their way out and then comes back, and so I don't like those returnees that put stuff in their request messages. I don't. And I mean, yes, it's an easy report, but I don't like it sitting in chat and.
But I just wanted to just point out that I have noticed there's a the abuse is still there, it just goes to a different place.
Yeah, that's true. Time left. Info added to builder-based friendly challenge clan chat entries. Okay. Time left. Time left. Info to shared builder-based replays. Allow quick donation of any normal version troops, even when the super troop version is enabled. Who would be wasting gems on barbs? Added active creator boost pop-up in the shop. Add sound effect when toggling ground warden to air or ground mode in the home village. And show the number of unseen offers in the treasure lab and in the offer tab in the shop.
I hope it's not as jarring as the party warden as you toggle him, because that I don't like the party warden really. But I hope he has whatever his jingle is. I hope it's ear friendly.
And then don't worry, the best is yet to come. If you haven't already heard, we're introducing 2 new super troops in the next update.
Yeah, so that's the next preview. That's tomorrow's sneak peek. So, and we already knew that. So I think with us doing an episode now, I think the update will have landed by the next time we have.
Yeah.
They're doing the sneak peeks over the weekend now, which is why I'm also thinking the update's going to come either Monday or Tuesday. It's not going to happen on a weekend, but it'll definitely happen Monday, Tuesday, because I don't know what else they could. They've given us the new troop, the quality of life balance changes, and the new defense levels. What other thing, unless there's an amazing, exciting new thing, which would be good. I don't see what else they can, sneak peek about. So I will be not looking forward to having things to upgrade in research. What do you think of the update?
You'll be at a war soon, and I'll be at the top soon.
Yeah, I could be upgrading hero right now because I'm not in war. But what do you think of the update overall so far?
I think it's all right. I mean, there's a couple things. I'm maxed with my lab and my spells and stuff, so it'll give me a couple things to do with the archers and the lightning spell. So, and I mean, I have books for those. I have runes, so I could just finish those right away. And then, because I know I'm going to get the season pass and fill it up again, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
keeps it going.
I mean, if I were Town Hall 13, I think I would be a little bit more excited. For me, it's just
you get new super trips.
Some of the quality of life changes as well. Like the friendly challenge thing, that's all right. You know, I don't mind that.
You can do the clone. I'll do you can post it up, and I don't mind doing the free clone and the free Barb Kings. I'll do that in the friendly challenge. But yeah, no, it's for me. Sure. I'm always, obviously I like new content, like having things to do, because I am maxed. But for me, they're on the flip side, it always makes me a little bit more anxious because I'm like, well, I like doing the things that I like to do. I'm set in my ways. I don't want to learn any. It's like, how are these gonna? Because the meta will likely change. There'll be some new air thing that comes out because of those changes, or, and so I am excited. Not excited because I'm like, oh, there's always that sort of bedding in phase of waiting until all the crazy stuff calms down before we get into the next rhythm again. All that stuff is a bit.
And for me, like it's new content, but it's not really. Like I'm still expecting something new, something like how Clan Games was added, Builder Base was added. I'm expecting something new in that sense. Whereas a different way to play the game or a different part in the game that you can play. That's what I'm thinking when I'm thinking new content and stuff, So for me, it's just kind of, okay, you're getting new levels, a couple, quality of life things here and there. So, I mean, it's not as exciting for me. If it were, new content where it's a new thing in the game to do, I would be, I think, more intrigued about that.
And again, I agree with you to the point that, for example, Clan Games. Whenever there's a new thing, they're always thinking about, okay, how can we get more clan interaction with each other, ultimately, right? That's something they said they want to focus on. So whatever new thing that pops out, be it, similar to Clan Games, Clan Wars, that's a whole new clan thing, and then that's whole more stress of managing a clan, because you and I and all the other clothes will have to figure out what do we as a clan want to do with that. So the joys of figuring out what's the fair way to do things and what do we ultimately want to achieve as a clan for that new content.
I don't think anything like that will come out until next year.
I'm thinking maybe end of the year.
You think?
Well, they've hinted about it for so long.
That's true.
And next year is probably Town Hall 14, so a whole year to go. I'm not saying it's coming in the 1st of January, I'm just saying, Town Hall 14 is not coming anytime soon, so there has to be, unless Super Troops is the new thing for this year. I
sure hope not.
Yeah, I don't use them because it's just not my style of play right now.
I mean, it'll depend what the super baby dragon does. I kind of like my baby dragon the way it is. And I don't use witches, so...
So there's quite a lot of baby dragon changes. There's a level up and super trip. So...
Yeah.
See, because then I'm thinking, well, what happens? Is the new meta going to be like, you know how when witches became math witches at 9 and stuff like that? I don't know if we're going to see a recurrence of that, but at 10 or 13.
Well, witches and golems. Bow Witch at Town Hall 10. Like, maybe they're trying to bring that back.
I don't know. We'll see, yeah.
I am choked about the wrecker. About the upgrades to the siege machines.
Yeah. But it's always been like that as well, just with every update, you know, sometimes, you know, it used to be that 10 or 9s could donate war troops and things, but then they don't anymore and things like that.
And I mean, just for the reason alone, I mean, you go into a war attack and you're planning on using this, you know, siege barracks or whatever, but halfway through the attack, something happens and you don't want to use that siege machine anymore. You know, I liked being able to, I probably still would. It would be like, you know what, I'm going to switch to my wrecker or switch to this because, you know, it's either this, what with my level, or the attack has gone completely south.
Yeah. So it's fair, but okay. So you've got Can't Fix Stupid. Do you have anything else to talk about the update?
I don't think so. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So my Can't Fix Stupid is this guy came into the clan. And we asked him to show us, you know, the army that he used for war. You know, asked him to show us what he can do and whatnot. And he's like, I'm not very good with drags, but the guy I share my account with, he's pretty good. And I said to him, you realize that you can be banned for sharing accounts. He's like, oh no, it's already, you know, verified with the email or whatever, and he's like, we've been doing it for a year and a half already and nothing's happened. And I'm like, it's against the terms of service. I said, you're knowingly going against the terms of service. He's like, no, I'm not. And I was like, well, yeah, you kind of are. You're still, you know, account sharing and whatnot. And he's like, well, nothing has happened. I was like, it's still against the terms of service to be sharing accounts. Like, you're saying that there's two people using this account. And I mean, it didn't sound like the guy was his brother or whatever, like it was two friends. So you can't tell me that that friend is always coming over to his house and using the same device. Like, they've obviously shared the email or whatever. And, yeah, so he was like, well, you know, I said to him, this probably isn't going to be the clan for you. I said, I mean, especially if he were to get caught and be in a war, that's 2 attacks that we'd be down, whatever reason. So he said, yeah, this probably isn't the clan for you. He's like, he got mad. He's like, well, fine then. And he left. He was going to continue sharing his account.
I'm sure the octopus will find him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as long as you can share a device, but I don't think you can share, like, here, I could give you my phone and you could do the attack.
I don't think I think he, like, this was a friend of his. And that's why I said, like, I don't think his friend is coming over to his house and they're sharing the same device. I think there was an email shared there, and you know, possibly in the same city where obviously it's not going to raise too many red flags. Whereas, you know, if you and I were sharing, it would be like, okay, how am I in Canada one day and the UK the next day, or like, you know, back and forth like that. So that's why they've probably been able to get away with it, because it's the same city. Or,
well, you never know. Maybe it's like, I'll just, you know, outsource all my war attacks. As some people have done in the past, and got caught and banned. Okay, we're bang on an hour and a half. Would you like to wrap up?
So, yeah, we will say goodbye for now, and then next episode, I think we will devote entirely to the update. because I'm sure something will go wrong and we'll have something to complain about. I know I probably will. So we'll spend next episode talking about the update, and we will see how our war has gone. See if we've been able to continue our streak, or if we've added a red or gray one in the war log since then.
Remember, only grey or green is acceptable.
Yeah. So until then, we will say goodbye.
Bye.